Hi, I'm Dr. Angel Bhathal, your Dr. World 2021, and you're joining us in today for the Pageant PJ podcast.
Hey everyone, it's Adrian. Almost got it right the first time. It's Adrian from the Pageant Project. Sorry, I'm trying to desperately get Clubhouse to work and mute it at the same time whilst trying to do that before we actually cut to live. It's an ongoing struggle. I need help in more ways than one. Our special guest for today is Dr. World 2021, Dr. Angel Bhathal. Angel, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be really fun. I have a full house today with you.
Fun. God forbid we have fun. We never do that, do
we? Never. Not on this show.
God, no. We keep it super serious and super dry here. Angel, why don't you catch us up with what's been happening since last we spoke? I think, well, it would have been a few months ago now. You had you just won, I think, your doctor crown. I remember you sung, what did you sing? Who requested it? Maria Giolando requested a song. And you actually sung a cappella on air. I think you're the only person still to do that.
I don't think I'll ever do it again.
How have things been since then?
They've been good. You know, it's just been crazy because it seems just like yesterday we did that video, but I guess it's actually been quite some time. Since then, I've just been doing a lot of different interviews virtually. As you know, in the pageant world, there's a lot that's restricted, especially with travel, but have done a couple of photo shoots. I have one actually lined up this week too, tomorrow. So that will be exciting. And just, yeah, had a chance to judge pageant virtually, do a few different interviews, also via online, just like this one, but it's been really fun.
Very nice. How's your work been? Obviously, you're in pharmacy.
Yeah, so I actually work for a global standards organization. So I have a very atypical role as a pharmacist. When you think of a pharmacist, most of the time you think somebody who is working directly with pills or in a hospital, but I actually work for a global standards organization. And so what we do is we are, we barcode medications. We do different types of solutions to ensure that there's standards so that when medication is being dispensed to patients, it's being traced from the point of manufacture to the point of patient care. So I actually work from home in my role, so that's been quite nice. However, I'd have to say working from home can also be a challenge, as I'm sure many of you experienced, just the impacts of like isolation, the impacts of, you know, just even being able to get enough physical activity in your day and to really be able to still take care of yourself. And I think self-care is the most important thing that really needs to be focused on when we do work from home.
Yeah, I think when we interviewed you, one of your friends had sent you, I can't remember the name of it, but it was, you said you looked like a sloth when you were wrapped up in it. What was it? It was like it was a onesie.
You have an amazing memory, Adrian. For a moment, I forgot I even owned the thing, but it was called, what was it called? I think it wasn't a Snuggie, but it was like a hoodie that was a blanket. It was, it was a massive hoodie too, right? So it was like the size of a blanket, but it's all fleece and it even has like a hood. I can't remember what it was called, but it was quite the surprise present.
just for the record, I'm not saying that Angel looks like a sloth. That's what she called herself. Just in case you were wondering.
Hey, ouch.
Yeah. I just bring pageant queens on here so I can insult them. Welcome to the club. Now, that's Angel's caught us up. We'll go more into that later. Danielle and Chloe. Danielle, what's been happening since last week? This is the most glammed up I've ever seen you dressed, Danielle. Damn, what are you doing? I know you're the pageant stylist, but you're showing us up.
Sorry, guys. I know it's like pageants and PJs, but I've had a few things on today. So I've been filming, and then
Those are
I've
your
got
PJs?
well, you don't want to see what's on
Miss
the bottom
Galaxy
half.
UK sleeps in those pajamas.
They'd be very bougie. There are some pajamas out in the market that have lots of feathers. I don't understand how that is comfortable, but they're bougie. So this week, and I've got an event on not an event because where am I going? Quarantine. But I've got something on after this as well. So this is why I'm all dressed up. This week, I posted a TikTok after doing the podcast last week, and it kind of blew up. So
yes, I saw that.
So I've just been kind of managing my messages since then, and for those that haven't seen the TikTok was I started filming it because I found my dream gown for Galaxy International, and I messaged the seller. I asked if the dress was still available. The dress was available. I said, yes, I'd like to buy this dress. I want it. How much are going to ship to the UK? So she's like, oh, I'll check in the morning. I was like, okay, well, do you want me to send you a deposit, a holding deposit? She said, no, that won't be necessary. I was like, okay, well, I can send you the full amount for the gown right now, and then we can sort out postage later, maybe. Completely read my message, didn't message me back, didn't, respond. So, okay, well, she's going to let me know tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning comes around, heard nothing. The next day, evening, haven't heard anything. I messaged her, hey, did you find out any shipping information for me? And she then updated the listing as sold. So she actually sold
this
the dress
one
to
here,
someone
Danielle,
else.
isn't it?
That's the one, yeah.
48,000 views. Very nice.
Yeah, so it kind of blew up, and then I had girls messaging me like, oh, I can lend you my prom dress, and sending me pictures of their prom dress, was just so sweet. I had people tagging famous designers in there so they could see it. I had people just posting. Someone started a thread like to post their star sign in it, so it would boost the algorithm so that people could see it a little bit more. People wanted to see the dress, so I made another TikTok showing the dress. I didn't post the receipts of the conversation with the lady, the seller. But obviously I was very frustrated that she did that to me.
Yeah.
And so I went to TikTok to ask for help if anyone could help me with finding my dream gown. And I've had lots of responses, and now I've got a Zoom meeting booked in with a designer for Thursday morning. And I just had another designer just before we went live message me, who has over 1 million followers on TikTok. Craziness. Has seen my video and wants to work with me to create a gown as well. So I'm in talks to 2 designers at the moment. So yeah, I can't believe it. So it's kind of pretty much been my week, and obviously I got a job as well.
Amazing. Oh, congratulations! Yeah.
Thank you.
You've had a couple of pretty stellar weeks, and the other week with the money, and then this week the job, and going viral because of the gown.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and I'm completely putting it down to the magic. I know I bang on about it all the time. The magic book from Rhonda Bryan. Everyone check it out. It changes your life.
Author of The Secret, right there.
Yeah.
So how many comments, how many messages did you have from people about the gown?
Well, I had quite a few on TikTok. I'm not sure the exact amount of messages I got, but then they jumped over to my Instagram, and some on Facebook as well. Added me on Facebook and started sending me pictures of their dresses that they have, which is so sweet. Yeah, so I'm just kind of over the moon. So thankful for TikTok and anyone that's like reached out to help me. And I just posted it on my Facebook now, that video, saying like I posted it a week ago and this is what's happened. And I just now had one of my friends message me like, Dan, yeah, like I've got a gown for you. So it's continuing to go on. So I'm going to have gowns coming out of my ears soon.
So you're jumping on with I think I saw you posted somewhere. You're jumping on a call with a designer after this. Is that right?
Not after this, on Thursday morning. After this, I have another podcast.
What time do you have to go?
Not until 11:30. It's fine. It's actually with my Ms. Galaxy Canada. So I'll be talking to another fellow Canadian tonight.
With Regine.
Yes, with Regine.
No, my girl.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Busy. Feels like the pageant world's beginning to wake up from its slumber.
Yeah.
I'm beginning beginning to feel that with the vaccine going around now. Although we had some news about the vaccine this morning. I don't know if any of you saw it. Don't know if Angel saw it, but a few countries, including Ireland, have paused the AstraZeneca vaccination for a while for fear of blood clots or something. So that's no good.
That
But
the
the
Oxford
vaccine has
one?
been, I believe so, yes. I don't know how founded the fears are. I literally just sort of heard it on the news in the background. But the vaccine does seem to be effective, which is great.
Mhm.
So hopefully pageantry is slowly returning to the point where we can see people in person and not just virtually. But that's all exciting. And Danielle, it's also been on the 13th. It was a year since you won your crown.
It was, yeah.
Can you believe
So
that? It's a year ago
a year ago since you were
already.
here. It's crazy. I remember the day after I was crowned, I was talking to loads of people and they was like, oh, there's talks about this virus is going to be around for a long time. I was like, nah, everyone's going to get it at some point. You know, it'll
We
be
were making
done.
jokes back then. It was like,
We
ha ha ha, you
were.
come back from here, you got corona. By the end of my stay there, no one was joking about
No.
corona.
And
Hmm.
here we are a year later and it's still doing the rounds and we finally have a
God.
vaccine and yeah, it's crazy that it's been a year and I haven't left. I mean, I'm sure people were sick of this backdrop by now. Because
Oh,
I
I'm
haven't
sick of it, but only because you haven't bloody
and put it
put
on
it
the
up on
wall.
the wall.
Well, there's more news on that because obviously my job that I've just now got is down in Cardiff. I will now be moving permanently. So this bad boy might actually see a wall at some point, might actually get hung when
I was
I'm
going to say,
down.
it always sees a wall. It's just not
Oh, it's
permanently
leaning up
fixed to
against
it.
it.
Although, I do love the idea that you're sleeping sometimes and it just falls on you in the middle of the night.
Well, not anymore. It's just when I get too relaxed sitting here and I lean back and then I forget and then it just comes down on me.
Danielle Latimer, crushed by crown. That seems somewhat appropriate. If there's a way for a pageant queen to go, crushed by a
That's
giant
hard.
framed photo of a crown is about right.
Well, if the crown fits. So yeah, it will actually see a Welsh hung on a Welsh wall before it's held on a wall here in London.
There you go.
Yeah.
Angel, have you ever been over to that side of the pond, the UK or
Yeah,
Ireland?
I've been to the UK before. It's beautiful. It rains a lot though.
Yeah, you have to come in the summer.
Even
Yeah,
in the summer.
Even in the summer,
In the
it's probably raining.
summer, it rains.
You need like
still.
we need like the weatherman to give us like 1 week to have all of our tourism so that people don't have a negative view on the weather here in the UK.
Yeah. I just remember whenever I've been there, it's always been very gloomy. And so how do people stay optimistic without having too much sunshine there?
We
We
don't
don't.
drink.
We don't.
It's this, you know, a lot of this and
That keeps us
it
merry.
helps.
That and lots of tea. Tea solves
Also keeps you
everything.
Oh,
warm.
definitely. I think tea and digestives, I'm not even going to say the first word, are the reason why we're
Activities.
sane.
McBees.
Yeah. Vries.
So Chloe,
I actually,
what's the weather like in Ireland? I've never been to Ireland.
It's like England, but worse.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like grayer and rainier. So basically, like the south of England, like London and Bournemouth and stuff, they would get slightly like better weather. And sometimes it would be sunny because it's close to France. Whereas Ireland is like further north and further to Iceland, and so is Scotland. So we're like very cold and very grey. So yeah, it's actually like going to a holiday when I go to visit my sister in Bournemouth. It's a lot sunnier and a lot warmer.
aw.
It's a lot
Yeah.
greener. Ireland's very green, I hear.
It is. It's beautiful. I love it. I love Ireland. It's a gorgeous place, especially in the summer. When the weather is good, we always have this joke that we wouldn't ever want to go anywhere else because it is so beautiful here. Um, Especially where I live. I live like on a little island in Ireland. And it's so adorable. And see, when the weather's good, like all my family come around and we have barbecues, and no one wants to go home. Like they're like, "Can we just stay here?" And we're like, "Yeah."
I have to say, you ask about the difference between England and Ireland. I've not met an Irish person I haven't met. I haven't met an Irish person yet that I haven't liked. They're all so nice. And
Are
there's
you throwing the English people under the bus?
no. It's just, when I know a lot of Australians I don't like, but it's when you heard the Miss Universe Ireland girls talking about Ireland, the first thing that almost all the contestants said was about the Irish people and how
they're great crack.
amazing they are.
Amazing.
Do you want to explain to Angel what great crack means? She probably doesn't know.
I have no idea. I'm so confused.
So basically in Ireland, great crack just means like great fun. So if someone is good fun, you would say they're good crack. Or if you had like a fun time at a party, you'd be like, oh, that party was good crack. If you're wondering if you're wondering if anybody has any gossip, you're like, have you any crack? Like it just means anything.
Yes, Angel, we've had the discussion.
That would be something else.
Yes, we've had that discussion. And just so you know, it's actually spelt differently. It's C-R-A-I-C. So it looks like crake, but it's pronounced crack. And yes, we've had some stories about Irish people going to America and asking about crack, and Americans.
And they got the wrong idea. Yeah. But yeah,
it's
it just
a funny
means good
story,
fun.
Though. So if someone asks you what's the crack from Ireland, it doesn't mean have you got substances. It means what's happening. But yeah, the Irish people are just, despite the weather, I mean, as Danielle said, it's ridiculously green. I've never seen that green anywhere else. I guess that's partly because of how much it rains. But the Irish people genuinely seem to have, there must be something in the water or the Guinness. They're just all really nice, warm, and friendly. I describe them as aggressively friendly. As in, if you're not having a good time, they will make you have a good time and you'll enjoy it. And you really do. And it's coming up to St. Paddy's Day.
It's so funny because whenever we're in Ireland, we're always complaining about the weather and we're always like excited for the next trip we're going to take, next time we're going to be in sunshine. And see, as soon as I go on holiday, I am like praising Ireland. I'm like, you have to go to Ireland. The streets are made of gold. You have to try Tato. You have to have a Guinness and an Irish. You have to, like, I am just like selling Ireland.
Made out of gold? Is that real?
No.
Really?
It's just basically whenever we're out of Ireland, we're just like hyping it up so much. Because you do love it. And see, as soon as you meet like an Irish person, if you're like traveling and you bump into an Irish person, you're like, oh hi, what's the crack? What part of Ireland are you from? And you will just like make friends instantly. I remember whenever me and Eden were in Greece, we met these other Irish people and we were just like, oh my goodness, you're Irish too. What part of Ireland are you from? It doesn't matter where you are. Like Irish people will find other Irish people and they'll just like, we'll find out who they are, who their parents are, who their grannies are, who their grannies' dogs are. We will like be like, oh, are you wee Patsy's son that lives down in Cork? You related to them? And they're like, no, you related to the Dohertys up in Derry. And we're like, aye. And then we will find a connection somewhere. We will keep chatting until like it's funny. You do. It's almost like a giant family. Ireland's almost like a giant family. We'll find a connection somewhere.
So cool. Angel, have you heard of Tato's?
Is it potato? No.
I'll let Chloe explain what it is.
They're like potato chips, so we call them crisps, but I think you guys, well, I know Americans call them chips, like potato chips. Yeah, and they're like Irish ones, and we've even got like a Tato theme park. So we have a theme park built around potato chips.
Out.
Yeah, we've got a theme park.
So are there rides in the park?
It's not a huge theme park. I think they have like one roller coaster. I still haven't been yet, but yeah, we've got a.
I can't believe you haven't been, Chloe. I still want to go.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
See? Tato Park. And it's full of roller coasters and look, ladybugs, lady beetles.
Oh my word. You wouldn't get Marissa on that.
I was just thinking that. Now you're making me I love Tato's. What is it? Is it the spring onion flavor?
Yeah, and cheese and onions good as well.
I missed that. The what was it? The Worcester, is it Worcestershire or
Worcester,
Worcester sauce?
What's the sauce?
yeah.
That was a bit weird.
It is
I
weird.
didn't
It is.
know
It's kind of
about
like
that.
pickled onion, isn't it? Kind of.
Oh, the pickled onion one. That was even weirder. I don't understand pickled onion in a potato crisp. I don't understand pickled onions.
I love pickled onion.
I like a pickled onion. I like a gherkin
Yeah.
too.
Oh no,
Angel,
I don't like.
Angel, are you
Gherkins,
someone that
yes.
leaves the gherkin in the burger, or do you take the gherkin out?
What's a
Oh,
gherkin?
well.
Oh, a pickle.
Angel has taken my place for this podcast episode as being confused by all these different foods
The pickle.
The pickle.
in a
I
Macca's
put
burger.
pickle in there.
You like the
No.
pickle.
It's all together.
It doesn't
Yeah.
bother
used
me,
to-
but I'd rather it not be in there.
No, I'll ask for
I
extra
used to take it
pickles.
out as a kid, but now it's probably my favorite part of a Macca's burger is
Do you know what
the gherkin.
Yeah, do you know what I love about the McDonald's burgers? And you only get it here in the UK, and I don't know why. So in our McChicken sandwiches, the mayo tastes like salad cream, and I love salad cream, and I hate real
Hang on.
mayonnaise. So
Hang
I'm
on.
obsessed.
Hang
I
on,
ask for
Chloe.
extra
Wait.
mayo at
You called
McDonald's, but
it
I hate mayo.
sandwiches? You
Yeah,
called
Okay,
them
it's called
sandwiches.
a McChicken sandwich, even though it's a burger.
yeah.
That's right.
Take it.
I
take
thought
it
that
up
was an
McDonald's.
American thing, calling burgers
No.
sandwiches.
No, it's just
No.
I don't. It's just the McChicken sandwich is the only burger that I
It's
call.
the official name of it.
Yeah.
So
But did you
in the
ever notice that,
UK, it's
Danny?
called a
How-
McChicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Angel, what's it called in Canada?
I think it's just called a McChicken. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, let me look
in
it up
Australia,
now.
it's just
Maybe
called a
I
McChicken.
can order one while I'm on this call.
It's called a McChicken here, and we would call it a
Oh.
burger. I thought the sandwich thing was only an American thing, so now I'm really confused because a sandwich for me is 2 pieces of bread and a filling, not a
Yeah.
McChicken.
Yeah. But anyway, the
Oh, well.
mayo tastes like salad cream, so I like it. Because I
Yeah,
just
I mean, when I used to eat meat when I was in America, I remember being a child and being very confused why it tastes so different.
Mhm.
And I used to like a McChicken sandwich, but when I got to America, I really didn't like it. It was like Herbie. This was a
Yeah.
while ago. It was like a herb.
Yeah.
There's no herbs on the ones here in the UK.
There's
No.
herb you can actually see in the patty. You can see little, I'm assuming it's herbs or maybe something just put in there to make it look like herbs. But you can see little dots in the
Oh,
actual
no.
patty in a McChicken.
We
So
ain't
it
got
is
that
very
here.
herby.
We've not got herbs in our McChicken sandwich. It's literally like, I don't even know if there's actual real chicken in it, but you've got the chicken, obviously the patty, and then it's like
And the
got
salad cream.
it's got like the coating. What is it? Like a not a bread coating,
A
a battered
batter?
coating.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a battered coating.
Yeah.
But there's no herbs involved. It's literally just chicken and batter
And salad cream.
Sounds a bit plainer.
and
It-
lots of salad cream.
They say that it's mayo, but it's not. It's salad cream, 100%, because I don't like mayo. And yeah, it's definitely salad cream.
So, Chloe, what's the difference between salad cream and mayonnaise, dare I ask?
Like salad
Tangier.
cream is kind of like tangy, like vinegarish, and has more flavor, whereas mayonnaise is just like creamy and
Good description,
Okay.
Chloe.
So salad cream sounds like off mayonnaise then. Because
yeah,
mayonnaise goes vinegary when it's gone off.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe McDonald's just serves off mayonnaise in the UK, but I like it, so I ask for extra
That wouldn't.
when I
that
when I
wouldn't-
hate actual mayonnaise. So strange.
Angel, have you got it? Is it just called the McChicken?
Yeah, I just looked it up because I was going to order one. All it says is McChicken. It says McChicken, not sandwich. It says McChicken.
Oh,
I don't know why we have it called sandwich. It's so strange.
yeah, McChicken sandwich.
Are
Very
the other
strange.
burgers in Macca's in the UK called sandwiches? Like, do you call them a
No.
cheeseburger sandwich, a Big Mac
No.
sandwich?
Nope.
So
No.
why is it just McChicken sandwich?
Don't know.
Don't question the
Why is that
McChicken
not a
sandwich.
Maybe it's called burger when it's made out of beef or if it's like a veggie burger. But maybe when it's chicken, that's when it turns into a sandwich. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Very confusing. I feel sorry for the McChicken sandwich now for being left out of the Burger Club. Let's get a petition to get it.
It almost, you can do another TikTok, Danny, see if you can get it to go viral to call it a burger. I almost think it sounds fancier calling it a sandwich. It's like, I had a burger. No, I had a sandwich.
I had a Michigan
sandwich. It sounds. Do you guys have McValue meals in your McDonald's in your respective countries?
What is that?
We do.
No.
Angel does. UK guys are going no. You don't have like a McValue meal where you get a burger, a drink, and chips or fries, not chips.
That's just a meal.
Speaking of McDonald's, they actually emailed me. See if I can find it. Well, anyway, they gave me a free burger for my birthday. They were like, "You can have a free burger." Yeah, I think they give me like a 99p burger. So let's see where this email is. But I think I just have to go in and claim my free burger. But how cool is that? It was like a really cute email. You had to tap it, and then like all little virtual confetti went everywhere, and it's like, "You got a free burger, happy birthday!" And I'm like, "Yay!" It's great.
Any burger?
You can choose,
or you
no, you're limited. You can choose a McChicken sandwich. I saw that one, or you could have like other burgers. But I have my eye on the chicken sandwich.
I'm hungry now. I hate doing these podcasts. I always end up starving, and because it's like 8 a.m. for me, and now I'm starving. And Angel's going to order her McChicken sandwich. Angel, what sort of? I think there's one thing we haven't talked about. What sort of foods do you like?
What kind of foods do I like? Oh, I love all kinds of food. I love exploring different cultural food, like whether it's Thai food, Chinese food, Indian food. I'm a huge. Sorry if anybody's vegetarian, but I love steak, so I'm very sorry.
I miss steak to a certain extent, so.
Oh, okay. That doesn't make me feel so left out then. So, but yeah, like I love to try new cuisines and always open for anything. I just don't want to eat anything that has onions in it because I have an onion intolerance. So those chips that you're talking about, Adrian, I probably wouldn't eat them.
I'm pretty sure that the potato spring onion has no onion in it.
Okay.
Flavoring, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the McChicken would have no, like you could be allergic to chicken, you could probably eat a McChicken, you'd be fine. That's how much chicken is in there. So Angel, if the stereotypical question, if you were to have like last meal or last supper before you were to be sent off to shuffled off the mortal coil, what would your last meal be?
Wow.
It's going well, isn't it? I'm telling you, you're going to die, and I've called you a sloth.
Are we going to the electric chair now?
If it's my last meal, calories don't count. So have any of you had a Krispy Kreme donut before? I think I would eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donut and then die.
Yes, they're amazing.
Well, that would mean if you were sent to death by the chair that you'd probably smell like a Krispy Kreme donut, which is
that's a nice smell.
I would probably have a bowl of sweet corn and jalapenos.
Really? As your last meal?
And jalapenos.
I know you love it, but that's so... You can have anything, and you can have a bowl of sweet corn and jalapenos.
Yeah, I would go out of this world being me and doing what I do best, eating sweet corn and jalapenos.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Danielle, you're up. What would you have?
A little bit of cheese sprinkled on top.
I'm going to be in true bougie form. I'm going to have a lobster... Italian lobster seafood pasta with lots of carbs and extra garlic bread and maybe a big soda of some sort. And then I'm definitely going to have pudding, and I'll probably have a selection. I'll have like profiteroles, tiramisu, banoffee. I'm filling up.
Hey. This is like a last meal. This is not a buffet. It's a last meal. You've had everything.
I want to try a little bit of everything before I go.
You won't need to get to the chair. You're going to explode and just have a whole cardiac arrest on the spot.
Yeah, I'll beat the chair. Then have to roll me into the chair.
Oh, dear me. We always talk about food. It's not a pageant podcast without food. Well, Chloe, you had your birthday since last week. What catch us up with your week? We've heard from Angel and Danielle. How's your week been?
So I've had a lovely week. I had a pretty chilled out birthday week. Adrian made me the funniest birthday video ever which included some beautiful messages from some of my friends, including Danielle and Amy and Eden and Frankie and Nadia and Evelyn, and it was just so nice to hear, and Meg, and it was just so lovely, and Nucky, and I was just like listing off all my friends that were in the video, but it was just the sweetest thing ever, and I want to keep that forever. I want that played at my funeral. Now that we're speaking of the electric chair, I just think it was the sweetest, kindest. It was just the most thoughtful and time-consuming thing that anyone's ever done for me. So thank you so much for putting that together, Adrian. It meant a lot.
Did it
I just
make? Can
can't
I just
believe.
ask a question? I
Yeah,
have a measure, like a criteria for success. Did it make you cry at all or tear up?
it did. It did. It made it actually.
Yeah,
Whenever we were watching like the
success.
fun, it made me laugh. It made me cry. It made my cheeks hurt because I was smiling and laughing so much throughout. Like literally, do you know when you do a pageant and you've been on the stage smiling the whole
Yes.
time and your cheeks start to hurt? That's how I felt watching the video because I literally smiled that much. So funny, amazing. I love you guys.
Mm.
I have like the best friends in the world, and I'm so lucky to have like so many amazing people in my life. It's just like every birthday is just kind of like a blessing because it just makes you appreciate everyone there. Um, so lucky, so lucky to have amazing people in my life.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It would have been awkward if you didn't. You were worried about it because Angel Chloe asked for a roast video. So to be clear, the first
I
half of the video was me making fun of her, kind of like a stand-up comedian would, and then the second half of the video was all these lovely messages from her friends.
Oh.
I did ask her friends to roast her. Not one of them would. All of them said, I know you wanted me to roast you, but you're literally the nicest and sweetest person in the world, so I couldn't. I was like, great, so I'll just roast her myself then. Thanks, guys.
I'm glad that all the friends in solidarity didn't do it. It was just left to you instead of just being one friend that helped roast.
Well, that's what I mean. Eden sent me a couple of the photos and the videos that I used.
Yeah.
Amy posted a video in our group message that had hilarious videos of Chloe doing, I don't even know what she was doing. There was one of you that you're sitting on a toilet. The toilet was closed and you were fully clothed. You looked like you were trying to do freestyle, bending
I think
over on
that
the.
was the
What
one.
was that about?
Scotland the Brave was playing, and I was like, do, 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 do. And I was just like dancing to Scotland the Brave.
Why were you sitting on the toilet to do it?
I don't know. I don't know. I was like, if you're dancing, you're dancing. It doesn't matter where you are.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So, and you've got a new job as well, Chloe, right? Is that still happening?
Yeah, I start on Monday as well, so that will be quite nice. Yeah,
We
are you
both
starting
start on
Monday
Monday.
too?
Yeah.
Oh, yay! That'll be so lovely. And it'll be nice to where I got my job, my best friend since I was 3 also works there. And my cousin works there. So it'll be nice to see some familiar faces. My current job I'm in now, I actually got while in lockdown and I trained online and worked from home. So I never really got a chance to meet any friends or, get to know anyone. So it'll be nice joining somewhere where I can go into office and meet people and also see my best friend and my cousin. So yeah, it'd be
Oh,
nice
so
to
this
just
one's
kind
going
of
to
get.
be in person? You're going to be getting out
Well,
the house and going.
yeah, so for my first 6 weeks, I'll be training in the office, but then I think after the 6 weeks training, we get the choice of whether or not
Yeah.
to go home or not. I don't know. I think I might just like continue to go into the office because I really want to get out of this habit of working from home. It has been lovely, but I feel like in regards to being productive and getting stuff done, I like being on the go because whenever you're going in and out of work on the way home, you'll like go to the gym and stuff. I know gyms aren't open yet, but whenever they do, my PT studio is actually very close to the offices, so I'll be going to training more and hopefully just getting more into a routine and getting stuff
Yeah.
done and going to the library in my free time. to do my uni work, which I still haven't finished, and I should have finished in December. And it's so funny, my uni lecturer messaged me the other day being
You're
like,
still going? I
yeah,
thought you'd
yeah, I still
finished.
no, I need to finish it. He's like, happy birthday, Chloe. You need to email me about your dissertation. I'm like, so I actually haven't responded to him yet, but I'm gonna try and get that done this week. So yeah,
You don't have
he's
him on your Facebook, do you?
How long has that dissertation been going on for? It's been going on since I
like I
met
started
you, I
it.
think.
I started it a year ago, and I've been so
Oh
busy because I
God.
keep I've been working like so many hours a week, and then whenever I was doing Miss Universe Ireland along with working, I've just
Yeah.
been like
Yeah.
draining myself. But I feel like when I'm like out of the house, working out of home, I can go like to the library after work and just like be more
Mm.
productive and like just be up and be ready and go do things. So that I'll make that my mission. You'll have to ask me about it every week. You'll be like, you can be like, so have you done
Hold
it
you
yet?
accountable.
Yeah, hold me accountable,
You done it
100%.
yet? You done it yet? You done it yet?
Done it yet? Because there's, I was just gonna.
Angel said she's been working a lot from home, and I work a lot from home as well, and Danielle similarly. Angel, do you have any tips to stay productive at home? Because it's exactly what Chloe said. It sounds great at first. It's like for a lot of people, the dream is, oh my God, I want to work from home. And then about 2 months, 3 months into it, you realize you've gotten absolutely nothing done because everything's a distraction. So do you have any tips?
Or the opposite, that it's
You
like
never
now your
stop?
home space, your workspace is, they're blurred, right? And sometimes you're overworking,
Yeah.
you're starting to work longer. It's like, 7:50 p.m. and you're replying to an email. Like, I think it's just, I think a lot of it is setting boundaries of, when you are supposed to work and being accountable for it, whether or not there are distractions, like having like a space that that it's hard, especially for a lot of people, where maybe they may be living in like a 1 bedroom or a bachelor suite. So it's like, find your little
Yeah.
space as your workspace, so that it becomes a routine to work in that area, versus I think like when you're working from an area where you're more comfortable, like a couch or something like that, I think that can kind of make it a little bit tricky for staying focused. But at the same time, I think maybe sometimes also working in different rooms, also there's a benefit to that, right? To change up your, your view of things that you're seeing. But I think that it's just as difficult to set boundaries as it is to be productive. So I think you really need to have a fine balance of both. I think that you need to do a lot of self-care measures, whether it's making sure you're getting proper amount of sleep, because I think that if you get proper amount,
Yeah.
you're less likely to be distracted and being like, oh, squirrel, right? But yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. That setting boundaries, I think, takes quite a lot of discipline also to set yourself to. And I verge on I was up at 4 a.m. today, and by 5 a.m. I was getting some work done, and then quite often I'll look down when I finish and it's 9 or 10 p.m. But that's not to say I've been working the whole day. I would rather be productive for 4 hours of a day than spend 16 hours in front of the computer being 20% productive, because I know I haven't been productive, but yeah, I'm drained like you wouldn't believe, because just sitting in front of the computer. Also, with lockdown, a lot of us haven't been exercising as well. And the two of those, you put them together. So you're not exercising, you're maybe not feeling that great, you're working from home, you're not eating that great, like eating McChicken sandwiches, for example. And it just all
I'm
rolls
going to
into
order
this.
one now.
But it just all, you know what I mean? Like, it rolls into, like we were saying, Danielle won her title a year ago, and that's when this whole thing kind of went crazy. You look back a year ago and you just go, what have I achieved since over the last 365 days? And I think for a lot of us, I don't think I'm just speaking for myself, kind of feels like when I'm looking back at it, like, not enough.
I mean, you did
done with my year in
create 2
lockdown?
books, Adrian. That's
Yeah.
quite something. You
Over 2
created a book
weeks.
in 2
So
that's
two
2
books
weeks.
in 2 weeks. That's quite something.
For sure.
It doesn't register in my head, though, is the thing. It's like,
No.
yeah, that was 2 books. It was 2 weeks. But what else
There's the book.
what I've been doing with the rest of my time? Yeah, Confessions available now on Kindle as well, wherever good books are sold. Yeah, no, I bring it up because a lot of people, I think, are feeling the same, especially with, you look at your Instagram, and Instagram likes to remind you memories. This on this day a year ago, And I think a lot of people are looking back, and I know Danielle was doing this, and Olivia McPike, who's Miss Galaxy UK, looking back with nostalgia. But also a lot of us are now kind of going, "Ooh, the end's in sight," or Corona. Better start, I'm going to say get back into shape, but not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, getting ready to actually be around people again. I still don't know what it's going to be like to shake someone's hand, like a stranger's hand. I mean, when's the last time you guys hugged a stranger or shook a stranger's hand?
Oh my God, I'm scared.
For me, it was a year ago, back at Galaxy UK.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, oh my God, don't touch anyone, you're going to die. And then even after that, I tend to go more on the cautious side because you never really know. So I don't know what it's going to be like being around people again. I'm not worried about it, but it's just going to feel really weird.
Yeah.
You have social anxiety now.
You joke, but I feel I might, because it's just like, oh, I don't know. Have you had the vaccine? I have. Have you? Or which one did you have? And then I don't know. And then from different countries, particularly if you start traveling again, if someone's come from a country maybe where they haven't had the vaccine rollout, is this going to be a thing? And, pageants are starting to go back into full swing again. Grand's taking place. Miss Grand, I think they just finished their quarantine successfully, I think. Giselle Ace, who we had on the podcast from South Africa, she's now in Egypt competing in Miss Eco. So the pageants and Miss Universe is going to be happening in May, I think.
In Florida.
So that's
May
going
16th.
in Florida. We had Savannah Miles on last week. Now hers has been, as I understand it, moved back a month, but that's still going ahead.
It's in April, right?
Yeah, and then I think I got pushed back.
Where is it again?
They just
It's
did
in
an
South
announcement.
America.
Was it Costa Rica?
No, Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
I believe it's just been pushed back. But I mean, how are you? Am I the only one feeling a bit odd about going back into the real world?
No, I completely agree.
I'm excited more than anything. I'm just ready
I'm
and
excited
ready to
too.
go. I just want to go to the airport. I just want to feel like, that excitement about going on holiday again. When you're sitting at the gate and you're waiting for your aisle to be called to like step up and go board the plane.
Typical
that feeling.
Brit. First thing that the Brits looking forward to is getting out of
Get
Britain.
out.
It's such a typical British thing. Oh my God, I love the UK. I can't wait to get out of it. Angel, is life going to change for you as life gets back to normal, or things going to? Because you sound like you're pretty much in a routine as it is anyway.
Well, actually, things have changed for Canadians anyway. So at the end of January, they actually put in place a mandatory hotel quarantine for us. So what that means is that if anybody leaves, I'm wondering what's going to happen to a lot of our contestants that are competing internationally, because once they return, they have to do a mandatory government hotel quarantine for 3 days, and that costs $2,000. And so I think, depending
$2,000 for 3 days?
Yeah.
Where are they being put up?
Yeah, in hotels. So it's basically, I guess, the costs for the isolation, the costs for the
cleaning, food.
Yeah, cleaning, food. But $2,000 is a lot. So, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see how our delegates are going to go on to compete, and they might have to absorb some of those costs.
Yeah. Gee, that's tough.
We didn't have it all year until January, though. So that's the interesting part, that, all these pageants were put on hold, but now we have this new travel restriction that is like an excessive bill for, many delegates that are, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to find the means to support themselves to do that.
That does surprise me that Canada's only brought it in kind of recently. We had that basically since, a year ago. That was one of the first things that the Australian government instigated. And I do know that when the government mandated mandatory quarantine here, people would have to foot the bill themselves. But I believe it was $2,000 for 2 weeks, because our quarantine was for 14 days.
And is it
wasn't for
still
3
going on?
days.
Is it still going on, or?
I think it is here.
No, not in Australia. So Australia is now in a position where, I could be wrong on this, but the majority of states here have had a long period of no recorded cases. And I'm
Amazing.
talking about no community transmission. So not talking about people who've come back in from overseas and tested positive because they're in the mandatory quarantine. That's still happening. But I glanced at the news, and I think there was some record number of days now that my state, anyway, Sydney, New South Wales, has had no cases of recorded community transmission.
Wow.
Which is why I'm saying it does feel like life is beginning to return to normal.
That's amazing.
America's rolling out the vaccine. The UK and Ireland are both rolling out the vaccine, and it's showing really positive results. I still think it's amazing that within a year, Angel's industry was able to actually create a successful vaccine, or more than one, within a year for a virus that hadn't existed up until then. And I think it just shows what we can do when you have, obviously, the financial resources, but obviously everyone also wants the same thing, which is to get over this virus and sort of get back to normal. So I can't wait to get my jab. Have any of you had your jab yet?
Not yet.
Everyone in my family has, apart from me.
Same.
So
I'm the only one in my family that hasn't had it either.
Angel, have you jabbed, or do you get to self-jab?
So it's been kind of slow here to actually get it distributed. So we're prioritizing the elderly first and those high risk, those working in long-term care. I work from home, so for me, like I rather have somebody who's on the front lines to have it first. So for me, I haven't had my time to get it yet, but definitely will be getting it once that time comes. We've been pretty slow in terms of getting the vaccine. I think that we had some delays in shipment. We are still vaccinating, but I don't know if we're along like the timeline that we were hoping for.
Right. Okay. I know that I think it was 200,000 vaccines got held up, Australian, that were destined for here, got held up, I think it was by the Italians, because the EU had this rule that if we don't have enough for our people, we're not sending it out to you. Which, like, I can sort of see, but literally Australia had those vaccines that they earmarked for us, and the Italians just didn't send them. I hope to God the Italians use them, because some of these vaccines, like the one that needed to be in the liquid nitrogen or whatever it was, I mean, you can't just have that sitting around. It will go off and be ineffective. So I hope to God at least they used it. But
for sure.
That was not a good thing to hear. People being a little bit selfish. Just to change topics for a sec. So Angel, you were crowned, well, as I said when we last interviewed you. So how's your reign going, and what sort of plans do you have for the rest of it, given that your reign's probably going to straddle the end of, hopefully the end of Corona and maybe the beginning of the new normal?
Yeah, I was a little bit sad about that, to be honest. I was like, most of my reign was in a pandemic. So, I mean, I'm going to do the most I can, but so far I have like a photo shoot booked. I have a professional development charity event planned too for next month. If any of you are interested, or any of the viewers are interested, what this is going to be really useful for anybody who's trying to get a job. It's going to be a professional development workshop on learning how to write your resume, cover letter, interview tips, any tips on social media as your appearance when you go to a professional interview. And it's actually being hosted by the Dr. World's Productions Queens. And we have quite the impressive roster. We have Dr. America, who's an attorney. We have Dr. USA, who is an anesthesiologist. We have our Miss World Achievement, she is a school principal and has a doctor's in education. And then we have myself as well as our director, Dr. Diana as well. So have quite a broad spectrum of leaders in their own industries. And we're hoping to use this webinar to help others and help women, but all of the proceeds, so it's going to be a donate to participate event. So, if a student wants to donate and all they can do is $5, totally okay. So it's whatever people want to donate. And all those proceeds are being donated to my charity of choice, which is the Because I'm a Girl initiative. And what this organization does is that it helps to close the gender gap for equal access to education, healthcare, but also basic human rights. And so it's important to note that although we've all been impacted by COVID-19 in negative ways, for some, girls and girls, especially in developing countries, they may not be going to school again. And so this is really important to me that we are able to do this charity event for them. So we're going to be hosting that on April 22nd. And so as soon as we have our official donation page up for registration, I will be sharing that on social media. So if anybody is interested, would love to have your support there to help yourself in your own career, but also to help young women and girls all around the world that really need it.
I would definitely jump on that for sure.
Yeah.
Angel, can you tag me or share it with me when you get the donation page live? Because that is, I think anyway, correct me, Chloe and Danielle can disagree if they want, but I think that being able to write a resume or a cover letter, and obviously being able to interview, but writing a professional letter or professional email is so needed for pageant girls. I don't know if it's more so in some countries than others, but this whole writing for sponsorship and then ending your email with XOXO, please stop doing that. Okay. And I say this with all the love in my heart, but I see it again and again. It's like XOXO or XX, and it's like, hey this, hey that, filled with spelling errors. And it's like, oh, please, it just looks bad. So if there's something that's very much needed, professional sort of workshop, how to do a resume. And obviously with the lineup you have, all being, a lot of them being doctors and a school principal, I'm hoping that you guys know how to do a resume and write a professional sounding letter or email. So please tag me in that. I'd love to share that. Where are you going to be hosting it? It's a webinar, you said.
Yeah, it'll be virtual via Teams. So it will all be accessible for everybody online. But the other important part about it as well, with the pandemic, we know a lot of people have lost jobs. And we do know that there's a lot of, right? And the fact that you both have jobs now is so amazing. But there was probably challenges to even get a job during this time because it's really saturated, really competitive. Everybody's looking for a job. So we're just hoping that we could take this time and help anybody that's viewing to become competitive so that they could also get some opportunities in the industry. It's just so challenging right now. And I think what people really need is a mentor. And if there's any way that we could help out with that, we'd love to do that.
It's so timely. It's so so needed. So many people lost their jobs during this pandemic, and I lost my job 6 months ago, and I've been non-stop applying for positions both in London and in Cardiff, which were obviously two city centres. And my interview that I had on Monday was my first interview that I'd got in 6 months.
Wow.
My first.
Cardiff is one thing, but London, jeez.
London is ridiculous. There's the problem is because everyone's lost their jobs, it's become uber competitive now. I've applied for positions where they've had over 500 applicants for this job. It is bonkers, and this is so needed, so vital. And I think one of the reasons why I got a foot in the door with this job that I've now got was because I spent a lot of time on my cover letter. I really tailored it to the company. I researched the company and I threw that knowledge in there. And that's something that I definitely feel secured me that interview. And then I did a lot of prep in the run up to that interview to show my knowledge about the role and show my willing and what I can bring to the team. So something like this is so timely right now, and it's definitely something that's needed, especially now it's going to be extra competitive out there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. So as I said, Angel, when that comes about, when that comes to fruition, do let me know. And
thank you.
I'd love to share it and join in. I mean, it's timely, as Danielle said. I love to support people wherever I can, but that one is really needed, both for the CV, the resume, the cover letter side of it, but also how to do the interview, a professional interview. Because I know from speaking to a few people that sometimes the interview they do in pageants is the first proper interview they've ever done. Not that it's an interview for a job, but it sort of is. And a lot of people get so nervous and worked up about the interview because they've never done one before. So both, and there's also a lot of, I don't know what, it's not cover letter writing, but when you apply for some pageants, you need to send in sort of kind of a CV, right? Yeah. And you want that to be super professional as well, not bits of loose paper hanging around paperclip together, hopefully, newspaper clippings and stuff like that. You want to present, I think, the best foot forward. I mean, Angel's from the doctor world system. I mean, being professional in that sort of sphere is a huge thing. So, yeah, sounds amazing. When was it again, Angel?
April 22nd.
April 22nd. There you go. Something to look forward to. Okay. Well, has anyone, to switch it up, has anyone got anything exciting coming up in the next week or next month? Or are we still hanging kind of low? I mean, Danielle and Chloe both have new jobs coming up.
Yeah, I have the pageant sit down straight after this. So if you're watching this, head on over to the pageant sit down. I believe it's on, go over to Regine's. So Ms. Galaxy Canada, her pages, and it has all the links over there and where you can tune it in. I'm pretty sure it's live. I think it's going to be streamed on YouTube potentially. But yeah, if you're still up, in the UK, it starts at 11:30 tonight. Luckily, you guys just had you sprung forward with your time. So Regine actually messaged me and was just like, "Oh, by the way, we're having a time difference, we're springing forward." I was like, "That works perfect for me because at least we don't go live at 12:30, like gone midnight." I was like, "At least it will be 11:30 instead of 12:30." So I was like, "Phew, that was a strike of luck there. It won't mess my sleeping pattern up too much."
That's like lunchtime for you, though, Danielle, like midnight.
I'm getting better.
I was about to say, have you? Yeah. So you're starting to get to bed. Amazing.
So I had 100% sleep quality the other night, Friday night. 100% sleep quality. I got 8 hours sleep. I was so happy.
What does 100% sleep quality mean?
So I told you, I think I've mentioned this before, I've got an app on my phone that listens to you when you sleep. So it picks up if you sleep talk, or I cough in my sleep quite a bit, which is very strange. If you snore, and it if you're moving around, it kind of picks up when you've fallen asleep. Don't go there, because I've seen there's TikToks out there where they replay some of the noises that come from people sleeping.
No, I was listening back to our podcast when I was in the supermarket the other day, and you were talking about this app, and you were talking about farting in your sleep because the app labels. No, I know that you were, but somehow the topic of, because you said the app can sort of identify what the sound is,
and it tells you. It says you snored here, coughed here. I haven't had a past wind one yet, but I've seen other people get it. I think it just says fart on it. If you do, past wind, it's completely normal, guys. It's very natural. So my sleep app said that I got 100% sleep quality, and I was asleep before midnight as well, which is very good for me.
That's actually an accomplishment for you. So well done, you. When is the return of the 5 a.m. club, Danielle? Is that on the cards, or was that a social experiment that maybe we put to the side for a sec?
We'll work our way back to there. Baby steps this time. Last time I threw myself at the deep end, and it lasted for about 2 or 3 weeks. And there's love in life and getting everyone on board. And then I think one day I just crashed. And
I last for about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, the first few days are a rough ride, but I think after 2 weeks, I was getting into a pattern. I think it was the third week, the end of the third week, I kind of crashed. I think because my sleep quality wasn't good. I'm just going to blame it on Jordan, my boyfriend, for keeping me late watching TV. Pardon?
Does Marcy still do it?
Oh, Marcy is naturally like that anyway. She's in bed by 7:30, and she's definitely asleep by 7:30, and then she's up at 5 o'clock naturally anyway. So she's a part of the 5 a.m. crew anyway. But I want to get there again. I'll do it eventually.
Marcy is the early bird. Danielle is a night owl, and then there are the rest of us that are just the permanently exhausted pigeons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Angel, which one are you? Are you the early bird, the night owl?
The later, the permanently exhausted pigeon.
It's very, very relatable. Chloe, what have you got coming up in the next week or so?
Well, apart from starting my new job, just trying to get stuff done, like uni work and stuff. It'll be nice to be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I have 4 days off this weekend, so I'm gonna try and be productive, try and get some content done because I've got some stuff sent out to me that I need to make content for. I really need to make a YouTube
Oh, cool.
video. But I don't really know the best like editing type things to use. So basically what it was is I won a competition on Instagram a few weeks ago with Klarna, and it was like basically blinking. And when you blink, it's kind of like Flappy
Oh, I
Bird, but
saw
with a
that.
shopping basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I won like £500 worth of clothes from River Island. So I got like cozy loungewear sets and like other loungewear sets, like boots and like lots of stuff, really nice things. And I want to make like a YouTube video to thank Klarna and River Island. But I just haven't got around to doing it. I actually lost part of my ring light that holds my phone in it, so that's what was holding me back. But now that I've found it, I'm like, right, I just need to go get it done.
Lost it?
I-
How did you lose that?
It's just a little bit that goes in the middle that holds your phone, like it screws in and out. So I misplaced it, and then my mum found it. So that's why I was putting it off for the past week. But now
Okay.
that I've found it, on my days off, you need to hold me accountable for that as well. I need to make that video. It's just
I'll message you on
YouTube
Thursday.
editing and like creating those little thumbnails and stuff. I am just useless at tech. Like I really want to get like a new MacBook so that I have like a MacBook, but it's pretty old and slow. But I want to get like a new one so that I can become like
You realize that getting
an
a new
editing
MacBook won't
pro.
help you with your tech skills at all. I mean, your tech skills are
No.
you. It doesn't. You don't
Yeah.
update your tech skills when you update your computer. Otherwise, Danielle would be
Yeah.
a genius by now.
Yeah, and I have a brand new MacBook Pro, and it's I'm
Although
not a tech
Danielle,
genius.
compared to when I first interviewed you, when you first jumped on the podcast, I mean, you are a genius compared to that person before.
This is
I mean,
true.
when I interviewed you, remember the first thing you did when I started interviewing you, your phone face palmed on the desk.
In my defense, I was in a hotel lobby in Florida, relying on
Wearing
the
a
hotel.
sparkly red dress.
I was relying on the hotel Wi-Fi and people not being too loud behind me in a communal area in a hotel, which you can imagine is quite noisy. And there was nowhere to put my phone up. There was no ring light. I had to just prop it up on whatever I could find. So, you know, the odds were against me there, but we got it done. We got it done. It must have been okay because you asked me to be a part of this after that session straight afterwards. So I must have done something right.
I just remember you saying that you were okay with animal blood.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Not so okay with
animals
human blood.
bleeding. Human blood, not so good. I couldn't be a doctor. I would not be. Actually, you can have a doctor's qualification in different elements. I can maybe have a doctorate in. I mean, I could be a vet because I could handle animal blood, but I couldn't be a human doctor.
There was a lot of weird things that you brought up in that interview that I never actually asked why you said the things that you did. Oh, maybe we'll go into that some other time. It was an interesting interview, one of my first UK interviews. Angel, what have you got coming up in the next month or so?
In the next month, wow, it's already almost the end of March, which is insane. I think that I'm just probably going to keep trucking along, seeing if I can get any more virtual appearances anywhere. Trying to really just make the most of what we can. I wish that there was a way that we could do a little bit more traveling and in-person visits to like hospitals and charity organizations, but unfortunately, can't do that right now, so we just have to be creative and virtual.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully we are getting back to the new normal, whatever the new normal is. We'll wrap it up there because we've been on for about an hour or so. Thanks to Angel for jumping on as our guest.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks to Danielle and Chloe, as usual. I listened back to last week and at one point I said Danny and Chloelle. So I'm not going to do that again. Apparently I made up some new name, Danny and Chloe. I was getting tongue-tied. Chloe. It's a new name. All right. Thanks to everyone for watching, whether it's live on the replay or on Clubhouse. And we will speak to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember, Confessions is out. To get your copy from Amazon, head to shaw.b/confessionsbook. And I'll see you next time.